Hey guys, what's up? So I found this neat little tackle trick that I'm going to start using, and I figured I'd share it with you all in case it would help you like I think it's going to help me. So the past couple of years there's been a big push from using lead weights to tungsten weights, and there's a lot of reasons for that. The big ones being that tungsten compared to lead is much more compact. It's a lot smaller, so like if I have a 1/4 ounce lead weight and a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight, the tungsten weight's going to be substantially smaller, which is good because you want that smaller profile and you don't want a big honking thing at the end of your line moving all around and messing up your bait. So that's one reason. The other reason being that tungsten is much more sensitive. So if I'm like bumping up against a rock or something, or I'm getting hit, I might not always feel that as easily with the lead, or not as clearly to be able to tell what it is exactly I'm bumping into. But with the tungsten weight, you're going to be able to feel that a lot easier. So a lot of people have switched over to the tungsten side. Now tungsten, however, is more expensive. There's the downfall. It is more expensive than lead, especially if you buy tungsten that is already colored. That's typically, or painted. That's typically going to be a little more expensive than like an unpainted tungsten weight, like this bullet weight right here. So there's a trick though you can do to help you take this really reflective silver unpainted tungsten weight and get it to be dark, so that it won't be as clear underneath the water to the fish, so it might not shine as much and keep them from hitting and keeping that natural look. So I'm going to show you how I found to take this silver tungsten weight and turn it into a darkly colored tungsten weight without having to paint anything. Now, disclaimer before we start going, to kind of protect myself a little bit, it does involve a flame, or at least a hot source. Be careful, do not burn yourself. If you are a younger kid, do not do this by yourself. Get someone to help you. So all you need though is your tungsten weight, your heat source, ice water, and I have a towel down here to soak up the water I spill, and then this is a straightened out paper clip that will work just fine for what I have to use it for. Nothing special about it, it's just to keep my hand away from the flame. So I take my tungsten, insert free tungsten. If you have an insert in there, plastic insert, it will melt. Get that out of there before you start doing this. And I just slide it onto my paper clip, just like that. Nothing fancy yet. Then, with my flame, so I'm going to try and get this glow close to the camera to do this. I'm going to take my lighter, and I'm going to hold it underneath, and I'm going to roll this tungsten weight around. Wow, and you can see already it starts to get really, really dark right off the bat. So if you do this with lead, the lead's going to melt. It's going to mess it up, and you won't have your lead weights anymore. But tungsten's not going to melt. And I'm going to hold it up here until a couple things. One, it gets dark enough, and I get bored of holding it up there. Or two, it turns red hot, like cherry red. And I'm going to keep pulling it up against there, and you can see it's getting really, really black already. So I'm gonna pull back a little bit so I can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to hold it up against here, like I said, for a while. And this is one of those things you do when it's a cold day out, much like it is today, or the next 2 weeks. The weather forecast is terrible. And as it gets really, really dark, like it is right now, and red hot, that's not going to change. That won't go back. This is going to be permanent. So once it gets hot enough and black enough, like I think it is now, I'm going to take it and I'm going to drop it right into this ice water. What that does is two things. It cools it down, and it gets that coloring to stay permanent. Boom. And then that drops in there. Get that cooled down. I'm going to let it cool down, soak for a couple seconds. Now I'm going to go in, pull it out. Now I'm not going to burn myself. And try it off a second. There you go. Now look, I went from this silver color to much darker. This actually has like a purplish blue tint, and that's perfectly fine, because again, the big thing about doing this is that it gets your tungsten weight less noticeable when you have like it tied on with a soft plastic texture rig. It'll keep that tungsten weight from being very noticeable in the front and making that crawl, that Zanko from looking unnatural. It's just something hanging out in the front that's going to be really dark, especially in those deeper depths. So if you have a bunch of extra tungsten laying around, this is something, especially if it's unpainted, I recommend you trying to do. Again, be careful with it. Don't burn yourself. That's why I have a long lighter not a short lighter, and why I have my paper clip to hold it away from me. Don't burn yourself. Another thing to do to help you get tungsten for a reasonable price. So here's a little picture right now. On my Instagram, here's a post. 25% off Jack Tungsten until the end of the month on a 1/2 ounce and 1 ounce sizes. If you go to jackedllc.com or jackbaits.com, we'll get you there. And use the code Tungsten525, you'll get 25% off any 1/2 ounce or 1 ounce tungsten weights. So that's an awesome deal. Take advantage of that while you can, because it's not going to last. Jacked already has very reasonably priced tungsten, but to make it 25% off is even crazier. And as always, if you use the code Rundle1, you're going to get at least 10% off. You cannot double up on those codes, but so use the 25% off one for right now. If you miss it though, Rundle1. Go check out some of my other sponsors that help me do this stuff. Ardent, Lake Fork Trophy Lures, Rod Socks, and always go check me out on Instagram, Facebook, at Tim Rundle Fishing, on Twitter, at Rundle Fishing, and right now if you go to my Instagram, comment on some pictures, tag some of your friends. Once I get to 550 followers on Instagram, I'm going to do a little bit of giveaway. So I'm about 100 followers away from there. So let's boost it up there so I can give some stuff away. As always, get out on the water if you can. If you do get out on the water, let me know about it. But yeah, till next time, tight lines.